PFA fam, how are all of you doing? Welcome into the Week 15 Start Sit show. It is it's good to be with you all tonight. Started work at 6:30 this morning. Thought I was going to miss the majority of the snow, and the East Coast got pounded, and I did not. And I was just sludging around, drudging around in the cold and the wind and the snow. So it's nice to sit down, be with you all. Got a drink here. Excited to get into it. Waiting for the questions to roll in. Kev, say what's up. How you doing, man?
Not bad. We're week 15, boys and girls.
It's wild.
A week away from the fantasy championship. Hopefully, everybody has made it through, and we're on to another week. Week 15 or week 14 was interesting for sure, but this week looks to be even more interesting. We're already getting people out with COVID. Actually, it looks like basically the entire Ravens wide receiver group is just about out this week, I think, except for Willie Snead is on the COVID list this week. So it looks like the Ravens are getting hit again with COVID. So it's gonna be a fun week.
Yeah, dude. It's like, what is going on there? Like that is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we haven't seen teams that have been hit like that twice. Like the Titans started everything off at the beginning of this season. Like they only had like 8 positives, and they were shutting everything down. And now the entire Ravens organization is testing positive. And they're just like, well, show must go on. We're not stopping now. Too far into this thing, but yeah, I mean it's crazy. I can't believe that we're here already. I feel like just yesterday we were talking, and I was like, man, it's only week 8. Like, this is like, Jesus, man. Like, we're like this grind is hitting me, and all of a sudden, like, we have 2 weeks left, and that's it. So, shout out to Ashton and Walito in the chat. We see you guys. Hope you guys are all doing well. Are there any particular like matchups that you're looking forward to? Like we talked about on the court that'll be coming out tonight after we jump off of here, that I'm looking forward to, the Jalen Hurts versus Kyler Murray. Like that is one that I'm really excited to see, because I just feel like that could be like a back and forth, between those two. Are there any other storylines or matchups or situations you're kind of waiting to see, or that you're excited for in week 15?
I think that is one that should be a lot of fun, but I also think I'm hoping we get Drew Brees this week. I know that they haven't ruled him out yet. They actually designated him for return today, because I would like to see the Pat Mahomes versus Drew Brees, because it's probably the last time. Because I mean, I guess today there kind of was confirmation a little bit that Drew Brees is going to retire, which I think we already knew that after this year. So. Yeah, I think that would be a really fun one to see. Sorry, Walito. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to fucking destroy your sorry-ass Saints. So, just like we have everybody else this year. Well, except for the Raiders. But, that was one bad week. But anyways, I digress. But, yeah, I think that one it should be a lot of fun. And it's crazy, too, like looking at like the division races and stuff like that, because the Bears still have a shot at making the playoffs. Like, we might get Mitchell Trubisky in the playoffs, because they are, I believe, a game back of the Cardinals. And if the Cardinals' schedule is not easy to end, they're playing Eagles this week. They still have the Rams. I can't remember who their second or their next week opponent is. And then the Bears have the Vikings, the Jaguars, and the Packers. Yeah, that's right, the Packers. And the Packers, the Packers could have things wrapped up by then, right? Because when the Chiefs destroy the Saints this week, and whenever that happens, and there'll be a game back of the Packers, and realistically, the Packers could, with the win this week and win next week, could end up locking up the division, and then they're resting their starters, and you can see the Bears get into the playoffs, which would be wild.
The Cardinals have the Niners in between those two.
That's right, the Niners, yeah. So we'll see. We got some now with the 7 game, the 7 playoff teams. There's going to be some interesting stuff happen.
I just don't. that whole playoff thing. Just why do you have to try and change up something that was so perfect?
I know, and there's only one team with a bye.
Only one team with a bye. I completely forgot about that till you mentioned something the other week. I was like, oh yeah, it's right. They switched all this shit up like that.
Did you also see really quickly that Nickelodeon is actually going to be hosting a game for kids?
I thought that was a joke.
No, it's not at all. It's actually real. It's going to be on Nickelodeon. It's going to be like geared around kids. Yeah, it's going to be wild.
Well, if we can't go to London, we have to get all the 6 and 7 year olds.
Yeah,
our market isn't big enough yet. We have to swallow more people into this black hole of football. So starting to get a couple questions rolling in. First one coming in from the moderator, Walito. He needs 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. CMC, I think we can kind of throw out. Does not look like he is going to be playing this week. Swift, Sanders, Eckler. Is Mixon practicing? I don't know.
I think there was talks about him possibly being back this week, but I
feel like Walito has just been trying to like will this into existence.
Yeah, I don't think he's supposed to be back. I know there was talk about him possibly being able to return this year, and he said that if he was healthy, they would. But let's see. Oh, this was a while ago.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything recent. Walito, come on, like I get the positive reinforcement and putting good vibes out into the.
So I guess
I
guess he did start practicing last week. They said, and then they essentially shut him down shortly afterwards. So I would say that's probably not a great sign.
Okay, so no CMC, no Mixon, and the other running back he has here is Latavius Murray. For me, this is Eckler and Miles.
Yeah, I agree. I would go Eckler and Miles. Yeah.
Wide receivers, we have DK, Ridley, A-Rob, Godwin, Chark. Nice little group there, Walito.
So DK, obviously lock him in. Lock in A-Rob.
Who are you going with the flex? Are you going to throw in Swift or are you going to take one of these receivers?
I think I'm going to go Ridley.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a safe call. So 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Sanders, Eckler, DK, A-Rob, and Ridley. Couple other ones here. This one coming from Anthony. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you in here. Sanders, Jacobs, Mike Davis.
I'm going to go Josh Jacobs and Miles Sanders.
I think I want Sanders and Davis. It's really close for me with Jacobs. Like he's right in there.
Well, it's like I talked about on our running back show. The Chargers have been terrible against the run this year, and they're vulnerable against the run, and that's why I like Josh Jacobs. The only way Josh Jacobs, the only hesitation I would ever have with Josh Jacobs is the fact of if the Chargers are able to all of a sudden find their offense again and get up quickly on the Raiders, and the Raiders have to come from behind. That would hurt Josh Jacobs, right? I know people will look at his like last week he only played like 48% of the snaps, but that was because they just got boat raced out of the game and they were pretty much out of it. So there was really no reason whatsoever to leave him out there. And so I know he was kind of questionable heading into this week, but he sounds like he's going to play. So I would go Josh Jacobs just because of that ceiling. He's a guy that's going to get 20 touches as long as it's even remotely close. And I think there's a chance the Raiders could actually bounce back and win this game, but as bad as the Chargers have looked. And Miles Sanders, as we talked about with The thing that scares me about Mike Davis, too, is with Curtis Samuel on the field, like he just hasn't had the same role that we saw earlier in the year with him. At least he's not getting, wasn't getting as much touches. Curtis Samuel's kind of taken away some of the role he's had. And it sounds like DJ Moore actually could be back this week as well. So I know Mike Davis was coming off a big week last week where he scored 26, but there's a difference here in this game where that game was a little bit more close. Where I think this Packers game, I think the Packers just fucking destroy him, and that kind of hurts him. He still, he was only targeted 6 times. That's pretty much kind of what his ceiling has been really since week 5. He had one game where he had week 10, but other than that, it's 3, 5, 2, 6, 5, 2, 6, 6. And like I said, that was also without DJ Moore on the field, which it sounds like DJ Moore is trending towards playing.
Yeah, it's. I just think I really like this matchup for Davis. Like they could absolutely just get smacked around, but I think Davis is still going to be involved in the passing game. Whereas if that happens with the Raiders, which I don't see the Raiders just being down 14-17 nothing or anything like that, but if that someone drop a comment, or you just feeling that. There it is. Bringing holiday cheer and just the dankest of takes. Just lumps of coal for Walito, though. But yeah, I just really like this matchup for Davis. I think they're both close. I don't know. There's just been something about Jacobs this year that I don't know. I don't know what it is. Can't put my finger on it. But flip a coin. I like they're all like in the same tier for me. Like I don't really look at any of these options as being like head and shoulders above either. But the one we agree on is Sanders, and then we are split on Jacobs and Davis. Another one coming in from Anthony: Herbert or Hurts?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert for me as well. I think we talked about that on the quarterback show. I think the Chargers offense is in a bounce back spot. We got Eduardo rocking with us in the chat. Appreciate you joining in. We're doing well, Eduardo. Hope you and yours are doing well as well. Our guy Ashton here still has the 101 of all the Abbeys that have come through. Ashton needs 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, and a flex. So out of running backs, we need Carson, Gallman, Hunt.
Carson.
Yeah, Carson for me as well. 1 receiver, Parker, Boyd, AB, Beasley, Kiki.
I think I'm going to go.
I think I like Kiki out of that group. I know he disappointed last week.
I'm going to go Cole Beasley.
That would be my second option. Those are the two that I was torn between. Yeah, that's who. What about your flex?
I'm going to go Kareem Hunt.
I'm going to throw Beasley in there. I know the Giants' defense hasn't been what it was. Like 3 weeks ago, but I like Beasley and Kiki and Carson for this one. True. Oh, also, can't believe we didn't or I didn't mention this. I won't throw you in that bucket, but if you see that down there below, my beautiful face, there is a beautiful, authentic autographed Allen Robinson jersey. Hit that subscribe button if you would like to win. Your shot to win this jersey. We will be giving that away the next Sunday during the game day show. So we will be giving that away to one of the subscribers on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you are tuned in. We haven't exactly figured out the time frame. Maybe like a 48-hour time frame for, once we announce who the winner is, to kind of reach out to us and touch base so we can get that to you, because this is too sweet of a jersey to kind of just leave out there floating in the abyss. So you're gonna have to be paying attention, watching the live stream, or at least checking in. We'll try and announce that right at the beginning of the live stream, and then, like I said, that'll be December 27th. We go live at 11 a.m. Eastern, and that's when we will be announcing the winner. And we're also going to be giving away a couple, at least two, I would think, TFA T-shirts as well. So if you don't win the A-Rob jersey, the TFA shirt is just as good, if not better. Kev will actually autograph one of the TFA T-shirts, and that thing was going to end up being worth more than the A-Rob jersey. So on a True's question: Cooper, Swift, or Ty?
This one's close. It's between Swift and Ty for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if Stafford plays, I actually think it's a little bit of a downgrade for DeAndre Swift. I know, because I just feel like then they just get boat raced, but by the Titans.
If Stafford plays,
if Stafford sits, if Stafford is out.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait.
Yeah, with Chase Daniel at quarterback.
Yes. I agree.
And so then I just, so it's really close between Swift and Ty. I would probably lean Swift though at this point. There's this part of me, and I don't like. You ever just have like a gut feeling about something, like, and that's what Ty feels like to me this week. Like there is like this just like pit in my stomach that's saying, back off of Ty, because he's gonna blow up at someone's face, right? And there's no reason to believe it because they're playing Houston, right? And this is one of the best matchups. We know he crushes Houston, and we've already seen it once this year. But like he's been on such a heater, like I feel like he's kind of due for a little bit of regression. And so like that's why for me, like if it's close for me, I'm kind of going the other direction, just because like if you throw out, like if you take into account the entire season, like for the most of the season, like this dude wasn't doing this, right? And now all of a sudden the last 2 or 3 weeks he's like blown up, and like it's been good matchups, and this is obviously a great matchup too. But so that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But for me, I'm gonna go Swift here. I do think Stafford plays, because Stafford talked today and said that it was kind of hinting around that he wants to play, and so. Because it sounds like, and crazy enough, like there's more and more reports coming out there that Detroit wants to get rid of him after this year. And I'm like, get all the way the fuck out of here with that. Like Matt Stafford's a top 15 quarterback in this league. Like lock him in for a top 15 quarterback, right? Like, these guys aren't just easy to find. Like, you know what I mean? And like, it's not his fault that they've never went further in the playoffs. Or like, they've never surrounded him with any weapons. So like, I hope they get him the fuck out of Detroit. So he can go somewhere else and shine, because it's fucking ridiculous. But regardless of that, anyways, keep going.
You think maybe Indy is a spot for Stafford to land? I
think Indy, San Francisco for sure, that they can save the 49ers. Could you imagine Kyle Shanahan with Matt Stafford, with
Kittle,
with Ayuk, with Debo?
Yeah, that run game.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna fall into the trap. I don't care. I will lay myself on that grenade for you, and I'm going Ty. We talked about, or I talked about this on the wide receiver show. You guys can check that out. That video is uploaded. We have the wide receiver and the running back ranking show uploaded to the YouTube channel. But you were talking about how Ty hasn't been, doing really anything like this all year. Up until this 3-week stretch, he was wide receiver 85. And over the last 3 weeks, he's wide receiver 3.
That's what I'm saying. Regression's coming. Regression's coming hard, and it's the fucking playoffs. And I'm not saying that there's a lot of players like I do like Ty this week, but I'm just saying There's something there. Watch, Michael Pittman's going to go off this week for 10 receptions, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I could also see it, but I'm rocking with Ty. I'm going to keep him here. It would be between Ty and Swift for me as well, but I lean Ty. Eduardo wants to know tight end question: Tonyan or Ingram this week?
I'm going to go Ingram. This Cleveland secondary is not very good, and they are not good against tight ends. If you look at Tonyan has been very touchdown. Really, most of his numbers have all come from touchdowns, right? Like he scored a touchdown on 4 or 5 straight weeks. Obviously, we got Aaron Rodgers chucking you the rock as well. That obviously helps. I think it's really close, but I just feel like that Evan Ingram has a little bit higher of a ceiling in here. Hopefully, Daniel Jones could bounce back from that atrocious game they had last week. But Sunday Night Football, I feel like this is a game that this Giants offense can get back on track a little bit here. So I'm going to go Evan Ingram. It's close on these two.
This one would come down to me if you need the ceiling or if you need the floor. I think Tonyan is the safer play. If he doesn't get in the end zone, I still could see him giving a 3 for 30. You know what I mean? I can still see him giving you that 6 to 7 to 8 points. Whereas Ingram, we saw the other week where he could just absolutely blow up. But that floor is much scarier. So that's kind of how I would approach that one. I do think both are close. You were talking about the matchup with these two. Where was that? So the Browns are giving up the second most fantasy points per game to tight ends, and the Panthers are sitting down there. Looks like maybe eighth, ninth, somewhere in that range. So not a bad matchup for them either. But I do think that Ingram has the much higher ceiling. Steven Rivera rocking with us in the YouTube chat. Landry or McKissick in PPR?
You always have to worry about James Bradbury, but I don't think James Bradbury is really going to travel to the slot and probably not going to shadow Jarvis Landry. I think he just sticks to his side. So
he's going to have to cover Rashard Higgins' son.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go Landry.
I will go Landry as well, but I do want to pull up Bradbury. So Bradbury has only gone into the slot 55 snaps this year. He's been outside for 750.
Yeah. So he doesn't travel into the slot. And so I'm not worried about that happening this game. So it's just a much better matchup for Landry.
Yeah. I like Landry.
And McKissick has very little touchdown upside. And so that's just why I like Landry. I feel like you can project that a little bit more for him. I think this is a good bounce back. I felt like last week against the Ravens, they were kind of picking on the corner over there on that side, and that's why we saw so much Rashard Higgins, and Landry didn't really get involved all that much because he was seeing Marlon Humphrey, who is one of the best corners in all of football, and so they were just avoiding that matchup. Now this week, we're going to have to worry about that. So this is a nice bounce back spot for Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, and even why can't I think of his name? He was on the Chiefs for a little bit. Who's the other corner there? Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, Marcus Peters.
Yeah, Peters was even covering him a little bit. So, and that's if you can roll out either of those guys in the slot, and that's a problem for a lot of matchups. But I do agree this is a much better matchup for him this week. Henry out here, our guy Henry just flexing on everybody, fresh out of the shower, feeling good, maybe shaved up a little bit. You know what? I gotta get this on record. Maybe just did a little hit the gym, got a little pump in. Henry out here just fucking killing it. AB Cutie or Jeff Wilson in the flex as Henry flexes.
I think I'm gonna go Jeff Wilson.
Me too.
Especially, so I'll say either way, I'm probably going to go Jeff. This is a fantastic motherfucking matchup against the fucking Dallas Cowboys. They're going to get this week. So
I think even we had a question on the RB rankings show, someone dropped a question and asked why you were so low on Raheem Mostert, and I took the privilege of answering that question for you. And even he had the MRI done. The fact that he needed the MRI on the same ankle that landed him on the IR is not a good sign. But it does seem like, I guess, the results came back and it's not as bad, and there is some positive movement going for him this weekend. But even if that's the case, I can't imagine he's going to handle the same workload. And even like, I don't know. I just think
he's still splitting touch. Either way, he's still splitting touches with Jeff
Correct.
Wilson. It's not like he's just the workhorse in this backfield. And so
Correct.
he is a very explosive running back, and it's a great matchup. But I think believing that he deserves to be among guys that are handling 70 or even 65 to 70% of the touches in the backfield, where he's just not, is where I have an issue. Like I think they're both if they play this week, Mostert and Jeff Wilson are both in play as flex options.
Yeah, I could see that. Are we ever going to get the AB blow up week? Is that ever coming?
I don't know. Like
that is so fucking sad that we're.
I'm starting to think honestly though that Bruce Arians isn't really that great of a coach. I was always a fan of his while he was in Arizona, but since he's been in Tampa Bay, the decision making that he makes, as much as I hate on Ronald Jones, like it's been hard to deny this year that Ronald Jones doesn't look like the best running back that they have, and the reluctancy to use them, to the stuff that they've done with these guys, like it's just none of it makes any sense to what they do. And I don't know, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of chemistry there between him and Brady at all. And
yeah, I
don't know. Like I said, the way they've utilized everything, and I'm sure this week with Ronald Jones out because he's on COVID, I'm sure they'll probably give LaShawn McCoy like 20 touches or something this week. I know it'll probably be Leonard Fournette, but you never know with Bruce Arians.
Keyshawn Vaughn week.
Oh, please.
Daniel wants to know if Keenan or Thomas do not play, do I go Lockett or AB?
You would go Lockett, but I don't think there's any real reason to believe that Keenan Allen's not going to play. Yeah. I know he's listed as questionable. He's been a limited participant. That's all you need to know. As long as he's out there getting in some practice, I would be shocked if he doesn't play.
Samesies. I don't think you have to worry about that, Daniel. But if that were to happen, I am siding with Kev once again and going, gonna rock it with Lockett. Owen, don't know what running back to play: Hunt, Mostert, or Rojo.
Well, you don't have to worry about Ronald Jones because Ronald Jones that decision's been made for you, and I would go Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hunt here as well. Just like I said, even if Mostert suits up, I can't imagine, because it's basically been a 50-50 split in terms of the touches and the snaps over the last 2 weeks. I literally think it's been like 49 and 48% between Mostert and Jeff Wilson. So I think we've seen what Hunt can do whenever he gets the workload, and we've seen what he can do also whenever he gets kind of the low double-digit touches as well. So I like Hunt here. This one coming from Austin Hummel. Hit that like and subscribe button if you guys have not yet done so. It really means a lot to us. We love everything that's been coming from you guys. But Davis or Thielen in the flex?
I'm gonna go Thielen here.
Got a feeling for Thielen?
Yep.
Is it just the worry that Davis might only see like 3 targets because the Titans just boat race Detroit?
What Davis? Is it what Davis is? I was assuming this was Mike Davis, I guess I should say. Or is that Corey Davis?
I was assuming Corey Davis since it's a wide receiver question. But it's Austin, if you're still rocking with us, let us know if that is
Corey. Let me put it this way. Either way, if it's Corey Davis or Mike Davis, I'm still going Adam Thielen.
If this is
so Adam Thielen, because Adam Thielen though has been super boom or bust this year. like to.
If this is Mike Davis, I'm going to go Mike Davis. If it's Corey Davis, I'm going to go Thielen.
I just feel like that this game between the Bears, I think it has the potential to shoot out a little bit. And I think that this game is one where it's going to be much closer, and they're going to be there. It really depends on what Bears offense shows up, because the offense we've been seeing lately shows up. They're really going to push this team. But so this is Adam Thielen's numbers this year by week. He finished as wide receiver 4, 82, 38, 4, 4, 24, 63, 75, 11, 2, 11, 76. So it's either feast or famine, really, for the most part. So I just like this matchup for him. The last time they played about a month ago, he went 4 for 123 in this game and 2 touchdowns. Or no. Oh, yeah, no, I'm right. Yeah, 2 touchdowns. 4 for 43. I was reading the wrong receiving yards, but 4 for 43 and 2 tutties in that week on 7 targets.
It is Mike Davis. But you said it doesn't matter. You're still going. Again, I'm bringing back the hedge life. It is hashtag hedge life. If you need the upside, Thielen. If you need the safe points, I think Mike Davis is a safer option. Victor, Kyler or Herbert?
This one's close.
It is. Because
Kyler looked like Kyler Murray again last week.
Yes. What do you have? I think the 13 rushes, I believe.
Yeah, which is a big improvement over what he had been doing the previous weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go Herbert.
I'm going Kyler here. I really like both.
I believe I have both of them like back to back. I believe in my rank. I think I have Herbert at 4 or 5, and I have Kyler at 5 or 6.
Oh, you got it right. Right chia.
Boom, nailed it. 5 and 6. Look at that. Right off the top of my head.
We always have one of these each and every week.
More often than not, that is the question. Actually, they always seem to be like right next to each other.
Flip a coin. I honestly think you can feel good about either of them. I would, Victor, go with your gut. Would be, because I think that no matter who you start here, you're not going to really hear anything from either of us one way or the other. I lean Kyler. Kev leads Herbert. This is one where you go with your gut and you write it out this week. Landon Phelps, Godwin or Cooper?
This is Godwin for me.
If Stafford is out, would you start Swift over Sanders?
No, it's like I said. I feel like this is actually a downgrade for Swift.
Swift or Ty? We already had this one. Kev is leaning Swift. I am going with Ty there.
It's like I said. If Stafford is out, then I would go Ty.
Right. Will Paul rocking the 2 QB league. Currently have Jackson starting options. The next QB are Trubisky, Rivers, and Brees in the IR. Kev, did you have Trubisky? I guess we can just pull that up again. Did you have? I mean, I know you love talking about fucking Mitchell Trubisky, but did you have? Wow, you do have Rivers higher.
Right.
Do you want to walk this one back?
No.
I like I would pick up Rivers there, Will. And I think you can hold on to Trubisky as well because his schedule.
They're remaining because next week is another just sexy matchup for them.
Brian rocking with us. as always, we appreciate and enjoy seeing you and hear Brian hitting us up on Twitter, which you can find me at CCutzerFF. You can find Kev on Twitter at FantasyWrath13. Hey, he won because of us. That's what we're here for. You drafted the team though, Brian, so good on you. We're just here to help guide you. Would you start Tanny, Watson, or Lamar?
This is Lamar.
Yes.
I know people may be thinking like, oh, because they're missing all their wide receivers, this is going to be a downgrade. I don't really give a shit about who their wide receivers are. It's not like they're a team that's a big passing attack. They're playing the Jaguars. They're going to run all over them. Lamar Jackson ended up with 100 rushing yards himself. So I just like Lamar Jackson a lot here in this game. I do like Tannehill, but it would get closer for me if Stafford plays to Lamar and Tannehill, because I think that game could end up really being a shootout because we know Tennessee's defense is fucking terrible. But right now, I would lean Lamar.
Agreed on that one. Forgotten Ninja, Dobbins, Swift, Jones, half PPR, pick 2.
Dobbins and Aaron Jones.
A-Rob, Ridley, Deontay, pick 2.
This is closer, but it would be A-Rob and Ridley.
Cleveland D or Rams D. Cleveland obviously gets the Giants, and the Rams have.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rams.
Another one here from Victor. Pick 2: Eckler, Michael Thomas, Ayuk.
Good for you, Victor. Good for you.
For the flex, yes.
This is Eckler and Michael Thomas. Though I love Brandon Ayuk.
Me too. I love Ayuk this week.
But I can't set him for Michael Thomas.
Not even in this matchup against your Chiefs?
No. He's going to torch them.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's too hard to sit.
And I really do believe Drew Brees is coming back this week, which is an upgrade for him.
If he does not, would that sway your?
No, because he's just being hammered with targets, right? And for Ayuk, like I could really see the 49ers just running it down the Cowboys' throat, right? And so yeah. But like I said, I forgot to mention this, and I wanted to mention this at the beginning. George Kittle has been activated to be able to come back and practice, so there's a real chance that George Kittle will play this week. So I'm sure everyone's already heard that news, but if not, just take a peek-see at your free agency and see if he's still sitting out there, because he could actually be back this week, which would be great. And we have to monitor too, because Nick Mullins might actually not be the starter. It could be C.J. Beathard this week, because there's talks that they may bench Nick Mullins for his terrible play because he's a terrible quarterback. But
so Mullins will be in after the first quarter, probably. They always try and do this. They always try to get
CJ Beathard. If you look at his numbers, like for fantasy purposes, has been really good. Like he has multiple 20+ point performances under his belt. Like he's a mobile quarterback. He can get out, and pick up yards on the ground. So like Beathard's not a terrible fantasy quarterback. He's just a terrible real life quarterback. But still, regardless, this is Eckler and Michael Thomas.
Ramon has one. He has a dilemma. Jacobs, Davis, McLaurin, Deontay. We need 2. Has Murray, Hopkins, Thomas, and Akers as locks. Woo! Good for you. It's the running backs for me.
Is this PPR? I guess he didn't say.
Does not say, but he has been he's been active in the chat. So Ramon, or I guess just give your scenarios here if it's PPR or if it's not.
If it's not, I guess it doesn't change dramatically. But I'm gonna go Jacobs and McLaurin. I like McLaurin a lot this week. Like, this is a matchup against Seattle. The last two matchups, I know that McLaurin's been harder to trust because over the last 2 weeks, he scored a total of 7 fantasy points. So I get it. And the hesitation with Terry McLaurin, but those were not good matchups. This is a good matchup against Seattle. I like Terry McLaurin a lot. I don't care who the quarterback is, whether it's Alex Smith or whether it's Dwayne Haskins. I like McLaurin a lot this week. I think this is a big bounce back spot for him.
I could see that, but that Seattle defense has been playing better as of late. Obviously, they haven't had, massive tests to go up against, offensively, but with Dunlap coming back, with Jamal Adams being back in the fold and healthy, I would just prefer to go with the locked in touches here with Jacobs and Davis. Champ is here. Kev, do you have any 4,500 or lower name? Have you looked at the DFS slate yet for tomorrow's show? You're muted, buddy.
I said, "Oh, this is for the main slate, right?"
Yeah, I'll go through some of these other questions while you take a look at that. Champ, if you want to hang around, I'll let Kev get back to you on that one. Big T, big testosterone, rocking with us. Down by 10 points heading into week 2 of round 1 of the playoffs. Start 3. D-Hop, T.Y., Ayuk, Anderson, Cooper, Deontay. Man, how are you down 10, Big T? That is I'm gonna go D-Hop, T.Y., Ayuk. I would go with those first 3 choices.
If we're looking for straight upside, it's D-Hop, Ayuk, and Deontay.
Why do you hate T.Y. Hilton so much?
Why do you hate Deontay Johnson?
Why does Deontay Johnson hate catching the ball? I don't know. There are questions that we can't answer.
That's a fluke. Anyways, back to his question. The other question before that. But yes, Big T, listen, lock in D-Hop, Ayuk, and Deontay. That's your upside play. And to answer the other question, I think you could, because that's what I do here. I'm just answering all kinds of questions. Let's just jump over to DFS really quick. Leonard Fournette's going to be absolute chalk now with Rojo out. He's only 4,500. That's where you probably start. But I really, really like guys like Christian Kirk this week. 4,300 is ridiculously too cheap on DraftKings at 4,300. I guess he didn't really say what service. I don't know if it's DraftKings or not, but that's where I played, so that's where we're going. I think those are probably, as of right now, are the 2 guys that I'm really looking at that I would want to pay down for in that price range. If Drew Brees is back, I think Emmanuel Sanders becomes interesting at 4,200 because of his price tag, and getting him back in there. And I think Gus Edwards, like with the ability now with they're out of all these wide receivers, you could see the Ravens run 60 times in this game just because that's what they can do. But in a tournament, I probably wouldn't play Gus Edwards for right now. I really will digging in more tonight, and then we actually go live tomorrow. The DFS DJ Nation show goes live tomorrow night, and we can answer that a little bit more. But right now, I would say Leonard Fournette is going to be chalky as fuck at 4,500. But I really like Christian Kirk at his price tag, and Emmanuel Sanders if Drew Brees plays.
There you have it, champ. Swift, Jones, A-Rob, Ridley.
I think he's answering somebody's question.
I was trying to look for. Okay, yeah, that was Ninja's question. Jared, pick 2. T.Y. Deontay Jacobs.
Deontay Jacobs.
Saw that one coming a mile away. T.Y. and Jacobs for me. Ashton needs to drop one of these, Boyd or AB.
You could drop either one of them, to be honest with you. There's only 2 weeks left, so it's not like there's some huge risk here. But I guess if you had to, I'd probably drop Boyd.
Yeah, that would be mine as well. But either way, Jonathan Bloom, Godwin or Cup, PPR.
I'm gonna go Cup.
Yeah, I think you got to go Cup here as well. I really like that matchup for him this week. Will Crawford, good to see you back in here. William, Shepard, Henry, or DeAndre Washington at the flex.
Well, we'll have to see with DeAndre Washington, mainly because Salvon Ahmed returned to a practice today, but he was wearing the red, practice jersey, so you can't touch him. So that's not a great sign. But the fact that he's back in practice, so there is a chance there that he could come back. But like I said, this is a great matchup against New England, like I said on the running back show that we did. But I would go Sterling Shepard, I think. Like Sterling Shepard did not have a great week last week, but he has been super consistent so far this year since coming back. So I like Sterling Shepard in this matchup.
I'm going to go Shepard there as well. Rodolfo, need 2 out of this group. Eckler, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, or we can start at 3 if we want to sit Lockett.
Definitely locking in Eckler and Aaron Jones for sure. I think I would go. This is tough because I like Lockett this week too, but I think I would go. I would go Eckler, Aaron Jones, and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Lockett's just been way too up and down. He's either going to get you 40 PPR points or he's going to get you 6. Jacobs, we can lock in the touches. Kev's been talking about the matchup, since the beginning of the show, and also I think you touched on Jacobs in the running back ranking show, which is up on YouTube if you want to check that out. But yeah, I think I'm going to sit Lockett. I'm just going to rock those 3 running backs. Good for you. That is quite the fucking group there. Pam Beasley or Godwin?
Oh, it's Godwin.
DJ Moore or Claypool from Curtis?
I think I would go DJ Moore.
I mean, you don't really have to ask me here.
Well, so the last couple of weeks, like we've started to see actually James Washington play more snaps than Chase Claypool has.
Yeah, James Washington has been the only one who's been able to catch the ball over the last 3 weeks. I'm going to go DJ as well. Tonyan or Andrews in a PPR. This one from Steven Zapita.
Andrews by a mile. With all these wide receivers out, whenever they decide to throw the ball, it's going to go to Andrews.
Yeah. Tan rocking with us. Always good to see you in here, Tan. Rojo on COVID list. Need a flex in a standard league. Boyd, Gio, Anthony Miller, or you just mentioned him, Salvon Ahmed. Is Jeff Wilson available?
I'm going to go Boyd, I guess. I mean, if we got word that Salvon Ahmed's starting, then I would go Ahmed. But if not, listen, I think Travion Williams might have taken over this backfield for Cincinnati. However, it's a bad matchup against Steelers, so we ain't messing with that anyway. But Anthony Miller is also interesting with the way Trubisky's been playing. But for me, I would go Boyd. Unless if we find out Ahmed starting in this game for them, I would go. He would be the way I would go. Which you'll be able to make that decision because the Dolphins play before the Steelers do, obviously, with them playing on Monday night. So
Yeah, I would rank these Ahmed, Anthony Miller, Boyd, and then Gio. So I think I would actually lean Anthony Miller. I don't like that matchup at all for anything on that fucking Bengals offense. Like Mike Hilton is a really good slot corner. They're just going to be on Brandon Allen the entire fucking game. I just I don't know if I can play Boyd even in a positive game script for fantasy purposes. I can't go there. So hopefully Ahmed plays for you, Tan. If not, I would go Anthony Miller. I would actually see if Jeff Wilson is available, and I would start Jeff Wilson over all of these guys. Fasal, thoughts on trading Aaron Jones for Nick Chubb? Oh, real quick before we jump to that one. Also has Mostert at RB. If he plays,
No, I would leave it. I would leave Mustard in.
yeah, yes. So anyway, back to Rabani's question: Jones for Nick Chubb.
Is this like a keeper league? Or is it? I would assume it is. I mean, I can't imagine they're still allowing trading going on.
Unless it's maybe like if they have a clause where it's like again like with people who are still in it, maybe. Like that would if it's keeper in Dynasty, I want Nick Chubb. Rest of season, let's just assume that it's a redraft and they're able to trade amongst the people who are still in the playoffs. How do you feel about that one?
I'd probably go Nick Chubb.
Let's go. Chubb is so fucking good. Jeff Wilson is available. Drop one of those.
You're going to start both Jeff Wilson and Nick Chubb.
Well, I think we both like Wilson over Mostert this week, so he could put Wilson in for Mostert, and then either go with hopefully Ahmed plays or go with Miller or Boyd.
I would definitely let me put it this way. I would definitely pick up Wilson just to see what turns out with Raheem Mostert anyway. So you're safeguarded against it.
Yeah. I like Wilson over Mostert this week. So out of your options, Dan, I would go Wilson and Anthony Miller if Ahmed doesn't play. And Kevin's gonna go Wilson and Tyler Boyd. Big T with a second big Q for tonight. Lockett or McLaurin full PPR.
McLaurin. And then at running back.
Yeah, McLaurin.
It's gonna be Cook for sure. And then I'm gonna go Jacobs.
I would go Cook and Jacobs. It's so fucking. I'm gonna end up answering this 3 different ways by the time the night is over. It's so close with me between those last 3. Cook and Jacobs. Travis Elkins, MT Claypool, Corey Davis, Cooks, or Julio. Need 2.
I don't think Julio's playing this week, so
MT Claypool, Davis, Cooks.
Yeah, it's Michael Thomas and Corey Davis.
You're not messing with Cooks?
I still prefer Corey Davis over him.
I'm going to go Cooks. I think he has the better outlook for this game. Like, I don't see any way that the Texans, even if they lead, Cooks is still going to be involved. They're very likely going to be playing from behind. Whereas Corey Davis, like that they could just be leading the entire game, and this has another. I'm going to have to look and see what the props are for Henry to score 2 or more touchdowns, because I'm definitely going to put some money on that this week. This just has another 210, 220, and 2 or 3 scores for Derrick Henry, no matter how that. Huh?
I was sorry. I was reading Eduardo, and it said we skipped him.
Oh, did we?
That's what I wanted to go back and look. I didn't think we did. Oh, you did. I'm starting Mahomes, Dalvin Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Ayuk, Diggs, and Mike Davis this week, if that helps. Wait, I still don't know what he was talking about. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess if that affects our opinion on Tanyan or Ingram. So starting Mahomes, Cook, JT, Ayuk, Diggs, Mike Davis. If that affects our opinion on Tanyan or Ingram.
No.
Yeah, whenever we talk about, floor and ceiling or safety or not, that's more going to depend on who you're going up against versus what the rest of your lineup looks like. So I would just take a look at your opponent, and if you feel like you need to kind of swing for the fences, I would go Ingram. Or if you feel like you just kind of need the safety of the points, but obviously with Mahomes, Cook, JT, Ayuk, Diggs, Davis, I think you're pretty set there. So I don't see Ingram ruining your week.
No, I would leave it the way that we said it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Eduardo. Didn't mean to skip you there, buddy. Chances Keenan plays.
I think it's 98%.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I would be surprised if they set him. It doesn't. I mean, he practiced today, and he's been practicing. I mean, so I would be surprised if they did. I mean, they're out of it. So if they wanted to sit him to rest him, I guess it's possible. But I haven't seen anything that indicates that.
Yeah. Hurts or Trubisky over Herbert?
No.
Andrews for this one, Rodolfo, Ryan D, Watson, or Tanny?
I'm going to go. So this is how I'm going to go this. If Stafford plays, it's Tannehill. If he doesn't play, I'm going to go Watson.
Living that hedge life. Lenny back in the chat. Lenny had my back last week. Appreciate you jumping back in here. Lenny Kuis made the playoffs with my 2QB 255 last week. Good on you. Rogers, Wilson, Henry Taylor, DKMT, Hilton, Rams. Man, and you basically got that gooser from Corey Davis. Good for you. McLaurin was better with Haskins than Alex Smith. If Kittle plays, are you going Kittle or Goddard?
Oh, Kittle plays. I'm fucking smashing in George Kittle as hard as I can.
So this was a standard. I think we the Travis Aston he had, right?
This is the one we already answered? I thought we said this. Yeah. Michael Thomas and Corey Davis. Yeah, this is the last one we were on.
Yeah, saying need one MT.
Oh, yeah, it's Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Aguilar or Davis in a standard league? I'm going to go Aguilar there.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking for.
What, we fuck something up again?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Curtis said you skipped his second question. Maybe was this the second? Players that come back from COVID have a good week. Would you guys agree? I mean, I don't think that really has any indicate. I mean, I don't think it's like some sort of advantage, but I don't think there's enough data out there to try to support that. If that's the second question, I hope that's what it was. If not, Curtis, just drop it in the chat again. We'll get to it.
Yeah. Another Aguilar question. This one from Dark Winter. Aguilar and Jacobs tomorrow. Would you start them in a half PPR? The other receivers: Hilton, Julio, AJ Brown. I would certainly start
Jacobs.
All of those. Jacobs, yes.
I'm assuming the way that he's saying it, that he's already starting those are the guys he's starting, I assume.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, yeah, Julio didn't practice today, so I don't know. There's really no reason to believe that. I would be shocked. I mean, because the reports last week were, the reports last week from him were that he may just be shut down the rest of the year. I mean, they have nothing to play for. So I would not anticipate Julio playing this week. I mean, anything's possible, you know. I mean, maybe he decides to get in. I mean, there could be incentives and stuff like that for him to try to get back. But if not, I just don't think he's going to play. But regardless, Wednesday practices don't matter. The same thing we talked about. I don't give a shit about what a guy does on Wednesday unless they play Thursday. But for most everybody else, for a lot of these guys, especially veterans, especially this time of the year, a lot of these guys are going to get rest on Wednesday. So I don't care what they do on Wednesday. All I care about is Thursday, really, and mainly Friday.
Yeah, I think you could start both. Let us know if you have any other. Jacobs, you're for sure starting. Let us know if you have any other options to play over Aguilar.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can. I mean, this game has that shootout potential that you look for. So I think you could, but
Gino, who should I start in my flex? Jefferson, McKissick, or Bowden?
I'm gonna go definitely Jefferson.
Yes. Then QB, Russ or Brady.
I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Russ. Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about the Tampa Bay offense a little bit earlier, and that's just not gelling, but with Brady and Bruce right now. I think they both have I think Russ has the higher floor and the higher ceiling over Tom. Eric Dickinson in the chat needs some help. First, Hurts or Herbert. We've talked about this already. That is Herbert there, although we do like Hurts, but as a lower option, kind of streaming option, if you're going to go that route this week, you know, maybe over somebody like Ben, if you think that is going to be a more run-heavy script. Running backs, JT, Hunt, Wilson.
JT and Hunt. I'm just going to guess you can only start two. And then maybe there's a flex because he didn't really clarify. And then at wide receiver, let's just guess for three. So I'm going to go Hopkins, Keenan Allen, and Beasley.
Yeah.
And then kickers, I'm going to go Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question on tight end or defense.
Boom. Sam Rosenbaum, hope you guys are doing well. We are, buddy. Hope you are doing well as well. PPR flex, Mike Evans or Mike Davis?
This one, I'm going to go Mike Davis.
Agreed. Another Evans question, Evans or Hilton?
Hilton.
Let's go. Pick two, Hines, Drake, McKissick.
I don't think Drake is that like safe. I mean, Philadelphia's run defense has been really good, and like he's like an RB3 for me this week. I think all these guys are RB3s. I would go McKissick, assuming it's a PPR, and I think I would go. I'd probably still go Kenyon Drake because he's going to get goal line work, and I mean he can punch one in, but I think he's safer than Naheem Hines is.
I like Hines there. I just don't like that matchup for Drake whatsoever. So I'm going to go McKissick and Hines. Santiago, Acres or Woods? I know you're going Acres over Woods in this matchup.
Oh yeah. Hey, look who's in the chat.
Sportle. What the fuck is a Sportle?
Good old Nate. Transaction and Trends Nate.
Trends and Reactions.
Yeah, Trends and Reactions. I messed it up. We need to get Nate on the show sometime.
Yeah, we do.
Drunk Nate.
Yeah, we need Cruise Nate. Is what we need. That is Nate Henry of your Trends and Reactions. So if you have not watched that, that's one of my, maybe I'm a little biased, but that's one of my favorite pieces of fantasy content that comes out every week. And there's definitely been weeks where I haven't been able to pay attention, that I've needed that content in my life. Wednesday Waiver just went through. Maybe it was the one we skipped, or he thought we skipped. Wednesday Waiver just went through. Someone dropped Shepard. Would you drop Ahmed or CeeDee Lamb for him?
Well, hopefully you're still here. If you're not, but if you're not, I would drop either one of these for Sterling Shepard. And then Bills defense.
Yeah.
Against Denver. If I had to choose one to drop, it probably would be CeeDee Lamb. As long as it's just a straight redraft. Like, this isn't obviously dynasty, but like as long as like a keeper league or anything like that.
Right.
Then, yeah.
Kevin, did you see this one?
I did not. Walito wants to make an appearance. Kel's 22. This is James Robinson. We could probably make that. I'm not sure where I'm going to drop it. I don't want to drop it in the.
Send it to him on Slack.
Oh, yeah, good point. Good. See, you are good for something.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm going to go Sanders here.
I don't know. So with Gardner Minshew back, like that spells really good things for him in his pass catching work, because Gardner Minshew was peppering him with targets whenever Gardner Minshew was starting. And so I actually think this actually helps James Robinson in the pass catching department. They're definitely going to be trailing against Baltimore here. So I like James Robinson a little bit more than I normally would with this. So.
I just don't like that matchup for him against Baltimore. That's why I'm going to lean Sanders here. JoJo, DJ Moore, Claypool. I think we had this one earlier. We were going DJ Moore on that one. We had the same question. Davis or Akers. As much as I like Davis this week, it's Akers.
All right, Walito, check your DMs on Slack.
Pick an RB and a flex. Jacobs, Deontay, J-Rob, T.Y. I'm going Jacobs and T.Y. Are you going Jacobs and Deontay? Or are you going to throw Robinson in there?
I'm going to go. I'm going to go Jacobs. bring Deontay.
Man, a bunch of these same groups of running backs here. Jacobs, J. Rob, Sanders need 2. I'm gonna sit J. Rob.
Look who is this man picked the man for his name in here. Do you see that? This mother. Hold on, I just gotta get an overlay ready real quick, and then we can bring the man in.
I am sitting J. Rob there. Kev, I'll let you take care of that. I'll go through some of these. Jivo G, T.Y. Boyd, Bobby Woods, Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore. Start 3, sit 2. Big fan. Big fan of you, Jivo G. Man, sit 2 of these. I'm going to sit Boyd and I think I'm going to sit Boyd and DJ Moore. I'm going to go Deontay Johnson over DJ Moore for this one. Eduardo, sorry, buddy. Travis, thank you. Trubisky or Drew Lock. That is, give me Mitchie Trubes on this one, Kels.
Hello.
Yo.
What's up?
How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing right now?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Chilling. So today actually was my last day of school for now. So I'm on break for like a month and a half. So
There you go.
Yeah, I'll take advantage of that to watch some football and hopefully win those fantasy championships.
That's right.
You ready to watch the Chiefs just destroy the Saints again?
Listen, bro, I don't know if Drew Brees is coming back, but I'm telling you, Taysom Hill, he can sit on the bench. Just get Jameis in. I mean, listen.
You think Jameis is going to beat the Chiefs?
Okay. Okay. I think with Jameis, we can score more points, right? But if Taysom Hill plays, I think we can score like 20 points. But you don't beat the Chiefs by scoring 20 points. So I would rather start Jameis Winston and win 48-45. But obviously, if you start Jameis Winston, you have a chance of losing 45-0. But I just think Jameis Winston gives us the highest chance of winning the game, but obviously the highest chance of getting blown out. But I don't know. Hopefully, Drew Brees comes back. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But nah, bro, the Saints are winning, man. The Saints are winning, man.
You don't sound too confident, Leo.
I am.
I gotta say,
I'm tired. But I'm telling you, Tyreek Hill cannot keep up with Marshawn Lattimore.
Did you just say you can't keep up with Marshawn Lattimore?
I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, I think Tyreek Hill's going to torch our secondary, but Kamara's going to torch your defensive line. I'm telling you that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But it's going to be the game of the week, in my opinion. So,
Lito, since you're always answering people in the chat, I'm going to throw this first one at you. The first question since you've joined us, Mr. Valentine needs start 2 out of this group: JT, David Johnson, McKissick, Ahmed.
Obviously you're locking in Jonathan Taylor. We've seen what he can do last week, and obviously if it's an incredible matchup, if not a better matchup against Houston. So I'm locking in Jonathan Taylor, and for me, it's between McKissick and David Johnson. But I don't like this matchup. Yeah, but I don't like this matchup for David Johnson against the Colts. So for me, it's going to be Jonathan Taylor and McKissick.
my how things have changed since the beginning of the year.
I just obviously McKissick has the passing game workload, so we could see McKissick have 8 or 9 targets, which is something we don't see with David Johnson. So I just like that way better.
Yeah, I agree. Need 5 here in a standard league for Dylan, Chubb, Akers, Aaron Jones, A.J. Brown, Ridley, and Allen Robinson. What a fucking collection of names there.
It's a great lineup. Standard league. I think in the standard league you have to start Nick Chubb.
So we're basically sitting one of these.
Oh yeah, start 5. Okay.
Yeah. So we need to sit one. Who are you gonna sit out of this group?
I think I'm benching AJ Brown. I can't sit Calvin Ridley. If Julio Jones is out, I'm not sitting Allen Robinson. And then Nick Chubb, Cam Akers, and Aaron Jones are locks for me. It's between Akers and A.J. Brown, but if Cam Akers still gets 27, 28 carries a game, I just cannot see him. I just can't sit him. And obviously, if Matthew Stafford doesn't play and the Titans just blow out the Lions, they're just going to pound the rock with Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. It's not going to be really valuable. So I think I'm sitting A.J. Brown.
Kev, what say you?
It would be between Ridley and AJ Brown for me, especially in a standard format. Because if he doesn't find the end zone, he's not somebody. He's obviously the yards after the catch guy who can house call one anytime he gets the ball in his hands. But he's also somebody that's probably could end up seeing 4 or 5 targets in this game because of. It's really going to come down to 2 things. One, again, I keep saying if Stafford is out, I'm out. Then I would probably sit AJ Brown. I think it'd be probably an easier call. If Stafford plays, then I would probably end up going. I would probably maybe look at sitting Calvin Ridley because I can't sit Akers. I just can't do it, especially not in the standard format. Running back so much more valuable in a standard league.
Yeah, that was so tough. I would hate to have to make this decision.
Yeah, I would be having a hard time sitting Calvin Ridley.
Oh, of course. This team is loaded.
Yeah. I think he had 11 targets last week with Julio Jones out. So
the only thing I would say is that Matt Ryan has looked fucking terrible without Julio Jones.
Yeah.
And so I mean this Bucs defense could really give them hell. And so that's kind of why for me it's between him and Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I'll sit Ridley, especially if Julio is out. Hilton or Josh Jacobs at the flex. This one from Ben.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I love Hilton this week, but I think this one is Jacobs as well.
Yeah, as Kev said earlier, Michael Pittman could go off for like 10 catches and 150 yards. So I think I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs.
Big T, flex options, pick 2 between Lockett, Waller, Carson, Mike, Davis.
Who's your other tight end? I mean, it has to be Kelsey if you're considering flexing Darren Waller.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Who does the Raiders play Chargers, right? Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Darren Waller and I think it's between Chris Carson and Mike Davis for me.
I'm going to go Waller and Davis.
Yeah, I think Mike Davis has a better matchup, but yeah, I think I'll go Mike Davis.
I'm going to go Carson. I just think there's too great of a chance that Mike Davis could get game scripted out of that game. And especially with DJ Moore coming back, I think that also hurts a little bit his role because now they're going to have all their wide receivers back. And so, at least in the passing game. And so, for me, I would have to go. I just can't play Mike Davis.
I mean, we've seen how terrible Green Bay is against the run.
For
Like,
sure.
They,
But if you're but if they're down, I mean, if Green Bay gets up 21-0 quickly on them, they're going to have to abandon the run. So that's the problem I have with it.
yeah, I agree.
I mean, the Packers have given up the most receiving yards to running backs as well.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like Mike Davis has been less and less involved in the passing game as the weeks have came. I think like he went from like 5-6 catches to like three or 2 catches a week. I just think it's just too great of a matchup to sit Mike Davis.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going Waller and Davis there as well. Kevin's going to go. Kev, you said Waller too, right? Waller and Carson. Lockett, Waller, Carson, Davis.
I'm going to go Lockett.
Oh.
Just have to be different, don't you? Ashton Springer wants to know what your top 5 draft picks currently going into next year. Kev, do you have any surprise picks up your sleeve? Just off the top of the dome.
We're talking about like redraft, right?
I'm assuming.
Oh, I thought I was talking about the NFL draft.
That's what I was thinking at first, but then I was like, he's got to be talking fantasy.
Well, obviously Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, I think just within. I mean, I'm not necessarily a ranking of them, but I would say just right here off the top of my head, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon back in it.
Dalvin
Cook.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook. So
Derrick Henry? I think I would have Derrick Henry in there.
No, I can't.
I mean, I don't know.
That man's getting up there in age too. Like he's heading into his age 27 season, which isn't ancient for a running back, but you start getting up there as big as that man is, he's going to start to slow down a little bit. But I think right now I would probably look at it because there's a lot of running backs that are going to move places as well. Aaron Jones could be in a completely different situation next year. So I think it's hard to. Some of this is hard because there's so much movement we're going to get. Like this free agency class is loaded. Because off the top of my head, you have at running back, Chris Carson is going to be a free agent. James Conner is a free agent. Aaron Jones, like I just mentioned. Now there's a chance that they could end up, like franchising one of the, somebody could get, or Aaron Jones could end up getting franchised. I doubt they do that, but it's possible. But there's just so many different spots here. Like this year's free agency class is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do
you think Devontae Adams could slide in the top 5?
No, I doubt it. Not especially not among running backs. I think maybe you could. I think Devontae Adams for sure will be in the top 10, but I don't think I don't think I'd have him top 5 though. He's on a fucking tear right now. Yeah. Right now it would probably be for me, depending on what happens with the Saints at quarterback. It probably would be Kamara.
Oh yeah, Alvin Kamara. Yeah.
CMC, Cook, Saquon, and probably Nick Chubb.
I would love to say Ezekiel Elliott, but I just can't.
Well, I mean, obviously they're going to have Dak Prescott back next year, so that changes a lot. I mean, this offense looked historically good with Dak Prescott back there at quarterback. Yeah. I mean, all these wide receivers have died basically since he's left. CeeDee Lamb looked fantastic. Now, I mean, you can barely get. I don't even think he's playable. Amari Cooper is basically a wide receiver 3 for the most part every week. Michael Gallup has had a little bit of a resurgence, but I think right now, just off the top of my head, without digging too far into it, I think that's where I'd have these guys. But I think Austin Eckler wouldn't be too far behind either, with as much usage he's getting another year with Justin Herbert in this offense. So I think that's also somebody that he'd be pretty close to there. But
Do you think Dak is staying with the Cowboys though?
Yeah, 100%. There's no like they'll franchise him again before they let him walk. There's just nobody else out there. I mean, I think they have to know now like how valuable he is. Like, look at what this team has happened just with him, just by losing him.
Yeah.
Kev already answered this question whenever you were getting Melito set up to jump in, but need to sit two of these, and it's a PPR. I said I was going to sit Boyd and DJ Moore. Do you have a different opinion here with a PPR league?
Robert Woods for sure, Deontay, and Ty.
I agree.
Lenny out here trying to punish empty and put him.
Lenny, let me tell you something. Let me give you a little insight. Never worry or care about points projections, okay? Like, ever. Like, there's a lot. Like, I could care less what a guy's projected. That doesn't matter to me. I know it can play like mind tricks with you. I know whatever you're like, if you're playing somebody that's projected for less and it just doesn't give it like, it makes you like just have this weird feeling, but do not care about projections. With that being said, I'm starting Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Because, listen, John Harbaugh could end up, especially against the Jaguars, we could see them all get 33% of the touches, right, out of this backfield. I think it could go so many different directions. Gus Edwards is tilting. He could vulture a couple touchdowns on the goal line. So, like, I can't just feel 100%. I would much rather play Michael Thomas.
Connor, I would start Jacobs over J-Rob.
Can you play all three? Like, can you play all three? Is that an option?
Yeah.
I still think I would start James Robinson over Josh Jacobs.
I just like Jacobs' matchup a lot better than James Robinson's.
I mean, Indy has been great against the run, the Ravens too, but I just think that with James Robinson, you're going to get the workload. We could see Devontae Booker in the game at any moment. Like, we never know with John Gruden. Like, he can put Devontae Booker in for a full drive and just sit Josh Jacobs for no fucking reason. So, and I think Kev mentioned that last week. We haven't seen another Jaguars running back touch the ball since week 8 or something. So,
yeah,
I still think I would go with James Robinson.
Got to go through some of these quick rapid fire here. Start to wrap this puppy up. Roger Gutierrez has one. Please help. Choose one QB, 2 wide receivers, and a half PPR. So quarterbacks. First of all, RG. Don't carry 3 of these quarterbacks. It's a little late, but next year write this one down. 1 quarterback is enough. Tanny, Goff, Hurts. I'm going Goff.
I will say this though: when you're in the playoffs now, like, I don't mind carrying 2 quarterbacks. If you're playing quarterback this week because they have a great matchup, and then there's a quarterback next week that has a good matchup, and you want to lock them in now, I think you can totally do that because we have 2 weeks left. So at this point, it's not like we're stashing players for if something were to happen, right? Like, basically all we have left now after this is this upcoming week. So whatever happens, happens. So I don't mind holding 2. I think 3 is probably a little much.
I'm going to go Goff out of that group.
I'm going to go Tannehill.
I'll go Tannehill too.
Fuck you, Alito. Who invited you?
And by the way, this guy's lucky that we're not even answering his question with this Raiders logo he's got going on here.
2 wide receivers out of this group: Metcalf, AB, Aguilar, Gabe Davis, counting on Julio being out.
You're locking in Metcalf.
Correct.
And I think I would go with Antonio Brown.
Kev?
I would agree.
So back to Big T with the he's in the second week of the round 1 of his playoffs. Current QB is Tannehill. Could get Hurts, Taysom Hill, or Big Ben off of waivers.
The interesting thing with Big Ben is we know that even whenever they are ahead, they continue to just chuck that rock. Like I said, over the last 3 weeks, they have thrown the ball 73% of the time, which is the most in the league over that span. And on the season, they're throwing the ball 65% of the time. So this is an offense that likes to chuck the ball. But with them struggling so much at the running the ball, it just wouldn't shock me at all if they fucking decided this week that they're all of a sudden going to, against the Bengals, establish the run, as they say.
Yes.
But no matter what, I'm still sticking with Tannehill here. Like, Tannehill, I think, has just as high of ceiling among any of these guys, if not higher. And my thought would probably change a little bit, though. Again, if Stafford is out. And then I would probably go Big Ben.
That is the one thing that concerns me, because the talk with Ben in this offense, even going back like 2 or 3 weeks now, and then especially after this last week, is they've been talking about wanting to be more balanced, needing the run game. So I could see them just being absolutely fucking stubborn with Kev, like you said, establishing the run here this week, especially in this matchup where they're going to be able to control this game. That defense is not going to let. I don't know what Cincy's implied total is on the week, but I would probably take the fucking under, even if it's 0 points. I would still take the under on that. That is the only thing that scares me off Big Ben. It's just I could see the Steelers going into this one just feeling like they need to establish the run and be more balanced and not have Ben's elbow fall off, throwing it as much as he has. So I think with that I would still lean Tannehill, and then I think Hurts would be my second choice behind Tanny. But I would still lean Tannehill. Tannehill or Watson?
Tannehill.
It's Tannehill for me. Yeah.
Current lineup for Dark Winter: Brady, Cook, Jacobs, AJ Brown, Aguilar, Thomas, Hilton to the flex, Rams, Young Who. My team good enough to risk playing Aguilar. So this is one going back to the one earlier with Dark Winter.
It just depends on what the other options are. You
Yeah.
know, like, it's hard to say without being able to know what your other options are. So, like, let us know what the other options are to be able to think about if you're going to play him over them or not.
Yeah. I mean, you got
he said waivers is a wasteland, and his benches as well.
But what does that mean, though? Like, I don't know. That means different things to different people.
Can you play another running back? Because you could put Ty at your wide receiver 2, and then a running back at the flex.
Yeah, I like that.
I think Jeff Wilson, if he is available.
Let's go, Lito. Let's go. Yeah, Winner, let us know if you're still rocking with us here, what your bench actually looks like, and if somebody like Jeff Wilson is available, because I do like that idea from Alito, is putting Hilton in over Aguilar and then going Wilson in your flex. Last Fish in the Pond, always holding us down for us over there on Twitch. We appreciate you joining us as often as you have. Survivor League question from Last Fish. It's good to see that you're still coming back and asking these questions. It means we haven't fucked up your year. San Fran over Dallas, or Bucks over Falcons, or Browns over Giants?
I could see all three of these going fucking sideways, but
Yes.
I would probably feel the most confident in the Bucks over the Falcons.
I don't see the Giants beating the Browns, but I think I would still go with Bucks over Falcons. Like we still don't know what's going to happen with the 49ers quarterback situation.
Yeah. I think the Bucks just have too much advantage on offense and defense to, my God, famous last words.
Matt Ryan has been absolutely terrible, and they don't have a run game.
They're going to be able to get after him as well. Yeah, over the last couple of weeks, you have to potentially think about playing fucking San Francisco. I mean, obviously, depending on what happens with the rest of the league, but I would just go Bucks. I would go Bucks. Lenny, we agree. Sexy Surfer 69, just on that crotch rock. Look at that pose. That is a Sexy Surfer 69. Big money league here from that Sexy Surfer 69. Goff, Big Ben, or Hurts?
Jared Goff. Listen, yes. I love Jared Goff this week. So
yes.
Kev doesn't seem to like Jared Goff.
No, they're all super close for me. Like I think they're all like I like Jalen Hurts quite a bit too. You could probably make a case that Jalen Hurts actually has the best floor because of his rushing ability, right? I mean, he could easily rip off another 100 yards in this game. And the only thing that scares me about, again, like we talked about with Big Ben, is, against Cincinnati, are they actually going to continue doing what we've seen them do, and that's actually open up the offense and continue to throw the ball? I mean, all the trends say that that's what they're going to do, but at the same time, I could see them doing what teams do and limiting that and going back to James Conner. But so for me, I would probably rank them. I would still rank them Big Ben, Goff, Hurts. But I do think if you're asking for ceiling, I think it's definitely Jared Goff has the highest ceiling.
Yeah, I'm with Polito here. I'm going Goff as well. Curtis Larkin, Drake, or Clyde?
This is where we're at. This is where we're at with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But they both have terrible matchups, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to go with Clyde, and the guy who's attached to Patrick Mahomes. So,
yeah, I think we've seen Clyde be more and more involved in the passing game. So I'm going to go to him.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with Drake. Would this change, Walito? Would this change your answer for Goff in that quarterback group with Sexy Surfer 69?
Going with the Rams onslaught here. That's.
I mean, I like the stack of Goff and Woods. No, I don't think it would change anything for me.
Who are you going to run it back with, Sexy Surfer? Are you going to run it back with like Denzel Mims or
Frank Gore, baby?
Oh, get the fuck out of here with that.
Stupid Coyotes, Rodgers or Herbert?
Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Hunter Henry or Goddard?
I'm going to go Henry.
I'm going to go with Dallas Goedert. I think he could easily find the end zone.
I'll break the tie, and I'm going to go Hunter Henry. I think Henry could find the end zone against that awful fucking Raiders defense as well. Akers or Lockett, full PPR. This one coming from our friend Aiden.
Cam Akers.
Yeah.
Akers or Carson?
Akers.
Eckler, JT, Chubb from Benjamin. I like how that's spelled. I like that Y in there.
Benjamin, can we start all three? Can we start all three?
Yeah.
Because I love all these running backs. But if I have to choose, I'm going to go Eckler and Chubb.
You're sitting Jonathan Taylor against Houston?
Yeah. If I have to, I mean, listen, I love, and I have, but there's been nobody that stopped Nick Chubb this year. I mean, he has run all over fucking everybody.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's scary, like again, with JT, is you fucking never know what that son of a bitch Frank Reich is going to do. I know that Nick Chubb is going to get 15 to 20 touches, no doubt. Is it as good of a matchup? I will say this as well, though, because if you look, kind of like we talked about last week on the DFS show with the Giants. Giants actually, if you look at some of their numbers on paper, it says that their run defense has been better than what it's been, but they've really been getting gashed lately and giving up, I think, like the most explosive runs over the last couple of weeks. So over the last month or so of the season as well. So it's super close. Like if you want,
no flex for Benjamin.
Well, fix that, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Got to have a flex in fantasy football. Get rid of a kicker or whatever it is you have going on, because that is a shame that you're going to have to sit one of those guys.
Yeah.
But if you want to go JT because of the upside there, they're playing Houston, the worst run defense in the league. Like, I don't hate it. I think it's super close between those two of them. Eckler's a lock, and then if you want to go JT, I wouldn't hate it either.
Yeah, I think it's really tough, but I think I would go JT over Chubb.
Because there is a scenario with Chubb that Chubb could end up rushing for 120 yards but not find the end zone because they seem to, they switch out between him and Hunt when they get down to the goal line. So there is that possibility with Hunt or with Chubb. And, with this being the playoffs, like I am shooting straight ceiling, and JT, I think, has that with the matchup.
Yeah.
God. That's one of those ones where no matter who I pick, like I have to put the laptop, the fucking desk, the PC computer, and my phone, and just like leave it in a different room because I'm going to go back and forth on this one. I'm going to fucking tinker until 11:59 Eastern, right before kick. Man, dude, that is God.
Yeah, I would hate to make that decision.
If you need the upside, go JT. If you need safe points, go. I think you go Chubb. Close your eyes and just fucking hit one of the X's and hit submit. That's what I would do there, Benjamin. That is, my God. I would hate myself for having to sit any of those. I think I'm leading with Walito. I think I'm going to sit. Oh, my God. I can't even say it. I literally can't, like, I want to say it. My brain's telling me to say it, but, like, it's stopping. I think you said Chubb. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I never thought I would.
I'm fucking deleting this video so that it's never on tape. Sean Goglin joining us. What's up, Sean? Appreciate you hanging out with us. As we start to wrap up things here, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want a shot to win the signed Allen Robinson jersey that we're going to be giving away on December 27th during the game day show that kicks off at 11 a.m. Eastern. We need 2 here for Sean. Full point PPR, Lockett, T.Y., Juju, Wilson.
First 2.
Yeah.
Tonyan or Gronk for Jeremy?
Tonyan.
Wilson or Tanny? Kev, what say you?
I'm going to go Wilson.
Yeah. I think Russell Wilson is having a big game this week. It's not a great matchup against Washington, but I think we see Wilson throw the ball a lot.
A defense for Week 16 for Benjamin. Eagles versus Dallas, Chargers versus Denver, Miami versus Raiders, Arizona versus Niners, or Houston versus Cincy?
Eagles.
It's Miami for me.
Carr doesn't really turn the ball over outside of that Falcons game.
I mean, I could see Derek Carr fumble the ball like 2 times. I would not be surprised.
I'm going Eagles there as well. I'll pull up the week 16. What are the options here?
Mayfield? Nah.
So we have Mayfield going up against the Jets. Who's his other option?
Russell
Russ.
Wilson.
And Russ going up against the Rams.
As bad as rough as that sounds, I'd still go Russ.
Yeah. I think the Browns could get up early in this game and just fucking run all over the Jets with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
You can't get cute. That's championship week, so
Yeah.
I'm not getting cute during the championship, and it would hate my life for sitting Russell Wilson.
Well, Benjamin's going to be hating his life because he's going to have to choose to sit one of those fucking running backs anyway. So, but yeah, I can't hate myself twice.
This is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I don't want to see any more Taysom Hill. No, absolutely not.
Tam joining us. Good to see Tam jumping in. Appreciate you joining us, Tam, every week. Wide receiver 2 and a flex for this week. Davis. So the wide receiver 2, Juju, Cooks, Boyd.
Oof.
I'm gonna go Juju.
I'm gonna go Cooks.
I'm gonna go Brandon Cooks.
And then flex also have the options of Davis, Drake, Gibson. Is Gibson practicing?
He did. He returned to practice today.
Ooh, that's a man. I have a dynasty league that could use Gibson and Kittle this week. That's fucking exciting.
I just don't know. I don't know if I could trust it though. I mean, he's coming on. I mean, that the turf toe injury is not one to. I mean,
yeah.
Like, I would probably go Mike Davis.
No, I mean, Antonio Gibson has found the end zone almost every game.
Yeah, but I just don't
Yeah,
know.
there could be
if he
one
actually
cut.
returned,
Yeah,
it just seems like with that injury, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'd want to trust it in this kind of matchup.
Yeah,
and he'd have something that's viable.
I'll still go Mike Davis.
Yeah. So Cooks and Davis for Walito and myself, and then Juju and Davis for Kev. Is it safe to drop Galladay at this point from Inceptivus?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna come back this year.
It's gross. That sucks. Roberto Vidal. Hi guys. Need to make 2 calls. Half PPR league. First off, at quarterback, Kyler or Trubisky.
Kyler.
Flex, Sanders or Monty.
Can you start both?
No, starting Henry and Eckler at running back already.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Miles Sanders.
Do it, Kev. Fucking say it, Kev. Do it.
I'm going David Montgomery.
Let's go. For the fucking brand.
You can't sit him. He is getting so much opportunity in this backfield, and he's also now like he is a true workhorse. Now, Miles Sanders has been as well, but I just can't sit David Montgomery in the run that he's on right now.
Yeah,
he could have done so much more last week. Like I don't know, like
he had an
80-yard touchdown, and it's like no,
he got like 5 more.
Yeah, we're just not going to hand it off to him anymore.
We're gonna save him. Let's just let Trubisky just fucking wing it all over the yard. Springer joining us on Twitch. Would you pick up Goff or Hurts as a backup to Kyler and drop AB?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're fine at wide receiver, you definitely can. Like I said, like at this point, if you want to carry another quarterback, like looking ahead to next week or something like that, I think you can. I think you can certainly do it because I think Kyler gets San Francisco next week. So if you feel a little, not loving that matchup, looking at what Goff and what Hurts have, for reference, Jalen Hurts gets Dallas. So I'm about that life next week. So I mean, Hurts is a perfect stash for next week. Like Hurts should be a locked-in QB1 next week.
I think Goff gets Seattle as well, so that's another great matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, AB is is definitely droppable especially if you're already planning on not starting Kyler and you wanna lock that up.
Yeah, at this point, I can't trust any Bucks wide receiver.
Real quick, since Dark Winter has been rocking with us for the past hour and a half, looking at some of his bench options: DeAndre Washington, Philip Lindsay, Julio, Jeff Wilson already snagged.
If you have a defense on your bench, drop one. There's no point in keeping two defenses.
I mean, I guess if Savon Ahmed does not play.
Yeah, but the problem is, so we don't have enough time to be able to figure that out because the Raiders play tomorrow night. Because of the Aguilar situation.
Right.
This is something I would say, Dark Winter, if you're on Twitter, screenshot us some of your who's available in free agency, just so we can get an idea of who's out there. Because it's tough to say. Because I don't mind playing Aguilar and Josh Jacobs. I think you can definitely do that. But Aguilar is he's so inconsistent on some weeks that he does, some weeks that he doesn't. I guess Philip Lindsay could also be in play as well, depending on what happens with Melvin Gordon, with that shoulder injury that he sustained last week. But it just really depends. I think with the way things stand now, and if there really is nothing available out there, I think I would roll Aguilar. Because I wouldn't want to wait, and then all of a sudden, Salvon Ahmed's named the starter, and then who are you left with at this point?
Yeah.
Without knowing who else is out there, if the waiver wire is truly depleted, like you're saying, I would probably just stick with Aguilar.
If you want to join us over, if you want to send us the screenshots over there as well. Nate Zucker, pick one in a non-PPR league. A-Rob, Jacobs, Ridley, Jefferson, Bobby Trees.
Jeez. One?
Yeah. How can you just pick one?
I guess I'm going to go Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, it would be A-Rob in a PPR league.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think I'll go Calvin Ridley.
Like Kev was touching on earlier, with in a standard, it's just so hard to sit running back. So God.
I really don't like this matchup for Josh Jacobs.
I'm going Jacobs. Can't do it. Dave McKnight, we need two running backs in another standard league. Sanders, Swift, and another Jacobs question.
Sanders and Jacobs.
Agreed. Kev, Robbie Anderson or Cam Akers?
Cam.
Walito, Tanyan, or Henry?
I think we had this question earlier. It was Tanyan for me, but I think you had Henry.
Well, Walito, are you fucking showing me up on our show? Inceptivus, start three: Ayuk, Woods, Deontay, and Ty. Man, so many of these similar names in a lot of these questions.
Last three for me.
No, it's Ayuk, Woods, and Deontay for me.
I'm not going to be of any help. Ayuk, Woods, and Ty for me. Who do we all have in common?
Woods.
Just Woods. Kevin and I had Woods and Ayuk, and then you two had Woods and
Deontay.
Yeah.
Karn, appreciate you, man. Karn was bounced last week. He even asked me a question. I gave him my answer. He didn't listen, and he lost.
Karn, come play some DFS, my guy. Play some DFS if you can.
Brian back with us. RBs are James Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Miles Sanders, and Wayne Gallman. I'm benching Gallman. Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
100%.
Lucius needs one of these: Godwin, Thielen, or Ty.
Thielen.
Thielen, yeah.
I guess I'm going to be alone on this Ty train. Carr or Goff for Roberto?
Did we answer the second?
Yeah, yeah, they had another question, I think.
I'll make it easy for you. It's the first two guys you had listed. It's Kamara and Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
Maybe I do fuck up questions. Roberto, Carr or Goff?
Jared Goff.
Jackson Watson, Tanny, a quarterback playing Jackson. Should I keep all three quarterbacks? What about defense? Do not keep all three quarterbacks.
No, I think you can drop Deshaun Watson. I can't play him.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I don't know. Chiefs to get Cincinnati next week.
Who did the Ravens get next week?
Oh, an easy matchup. their inning
The
schedule.
Jaguars. Yeah, I'm not starting Watson over Lamar.
Well, no, they get Jaguars this week.
Oh,
they get the Giants
next week. Yeah.
So that's not as great. I mean, the Giants defense has been decent. Has been better than I think a lot of people thought. I can't. If you're going to drop somebody, drop Tannehill.
Yeah.
Tannehill gets Green Bay. But I think out of that group next week, if we're looking forward to that, I think Watson is the play out of that group next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like Lamar. I like Lamar's rushing too much. I think against the Giants, I could see him run for 100 yards.
Either way, we're not thinking about playing Tannehill this week or next, so you can still drop. You can still drop Tanny. You definitely don't need to keep three. Then what about defense? Have Indy and KC.
Oh, it's Indy, 100%. I'm not playing. I'm not playing the Chiefs defense against the Saints, especially if Drew Brees is coming back.
Well, yeah, if Brees is back, that's completely different. But if Brees isn't back, then I think you could play the Chiefs defense
over the Colts defense.
Who would you feel more comfortable with being able to put up points on you? Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston or Deshaun Watson? Like, it's not crazy that Deshaun Watson bounces back this week against his defense, and with Brandon Cooks back, I think it's certainly possible. Like, if I'm like trying to bet on one or the other, like I would bet the Chiefs shut down the Saints before Indy can shut down, because I mean Deshaun Watson could go out and put up 28 against his defense.
Yeah, if Drew Brees is coming back, it's the Colts.
Well, that's completely different. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if
Drew Brees is not playing, then I could go with the Chiefs defense.
No, Tam. If Eckler, we think Eckler is going to play, but if he is out for whatever reason, keep Davis. Keep Davis in there. Davis is going to get all the work. Jackson's still going to split with Kalen Ballage or that other Jagaloon that they have there that everybody thought was good after the first 2 weeks, but in fact is not. Goff or Hurts for Week 16 coming from Springer and Twitch. So like I said, Goff gets Seattle.
Hurts gets Dallas. I'm gonna go Hurts.
Yeah.
Going Hurts there as well. Marcus C. Cook or Ingram full PPR.
You're not playing Jared Cook.
Ingram.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same game.
We just not answering that question, or
I just because Will has a couple. Will has three, so I figured we would just round it out with Will's questions.
Okay, so is DFS just for money leagues? DFS is daily fantasy sports like DraftKings, FanDuel, stuff like that. So
you can play for free.
Yeah, you can. Sure. You can also set up private leagues if you want as well. If you want to play with your buddies or. I don't know how Yahoo does it. Yahoo also has DFS, but their structure is a little bit different and their pricing's different. Where like their players are like $10, $12, $30 versus like DraftKings where players are in the thousands. But this is a great time of year to jump into DFS if you've never played. Especially if your fantasy teams are out of it. I'll say this right now: NFL playoff DFS is amazing. It's so much fun to play. It's one of my favorite time of the year in terms of just DFS, the fantasy playoff DFS stuff. So if you have a little bit of money, throw $20-$25 in on DraftKings or FanDuel if you're in a state that allows it, and you can play and have some fun with it because it's a lot of fun.
Agreed. And Springer, the DFS show will be going live tomorrow with Kev, Maddie, and Ryan. So if you want to get a little education in the DFS slate for Week 15, you can join them tomorrow, and those guys will be going live. Let's round things out here. We have 3 from Will and then 1 more from Inceptivus. Springer, I think that's going to be DK for most of these guys. FanDuel is another option, but DraftKings is the most popular. DeAndre Washington, Hunter Henry, or Shepard in the flex for William.
Shepard.
I'm going to go Shepard.
Yeah.
Bills or Bucks D?
Bills.
Should William be worried about Deontay?
No. So when he came back last week, he still, even despite the fact that he basically missed an entire half of football, he still had an 18% target share in that offense, if that tells you anything. And he still received a bunch of targets when he came back.
And a 70% drop rate.
You shut the fuck up. You don't want to talk about Deontay. Dude, I don't get it how you're a Steelers fan. Like, you're the most – I'm telling you, you need to get a Steelers logo shirt and just put the X through it like on Major League, with the inside hat and everything else. Like, that is so you. Like, you're a Steelers fan, but you fucking hate them.
I'm just here for the rebuild. I'm just preparing myself mentally and emotionally for the absolute fucking shit show that is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers for like the next 6 years.
Yeah. I mean, Juju's a free agent. James Conner's a free agent.
Big Ben's about to go. They're gonna have to blow everything up, and I'm just preparing myself. Plus, I can't stand. I'm sure this is the same way it is for all local sports radios, but fucking
the radio. Don't listen. All of them are that way. Just don't. I do not listen to a single sports talk radio. That's why we have podcasts now.
Well, we need to keep going. End up talking about this all night. Inceptivus needs 1. Andrews, Hawk, or Tanyan. We all rolling Andrews here.
I'm rolling Hawkinson.
I think you're going Hawkinson if Stafford plays. If Stafford is out, I'm going Andrews.
Tam, QBs for each team. Team 1, Goff or Ben. We've kind of went over this. Walito and myself like Goff. Kev is on that Ben train for whatever goddamn reason. Team 2, Superflex. We need 2 of these. So who are you sitting between Goff, Ben, and Wilson? That is a nice group there, Tam.
I'm sitting Ben for both questions.
Wouldn't it be the same thing? Like, why are we having a discussion? I'm not going to sit Russell Wilson. So then clearly I'm going to sit Goff, and you guys are going to play Goff. So it's the same thing across the board.
How can you sit Goff against the Jets?
How can I?
Yeah.
The same thing that we just saw what they just did with the Patriots whenever they built a lead and they just slammed the ball down the throat of the Patriots. I could see the same thing happening here. Like, I agree, because a lot of teams have just to continue to pound the rock or continue to throw against this Jets defense because that's so terrible. But that is still the possibility. Now, of course, there is the possibility. There's nothing really leaning us towards that other than a narrative in our heads of that this is what the Steelers could do, because they have not done that.
Appreciate all the comments coming in. Ashton, I would enjoy being a Browns fan. I would like to join your group.
The Steelers fan who wants to become a Browns fan.
Full circle. It is
Hey,
the
have you got the the Mapletron shirt? I see they have them now. The Mapletron. Have you got one yet?
no, just to wipe my child's ass with.
That is what, dude. I am so getting you one and sending it to you in the mail. It's gonna be fantastic. And you're gonna wear it on every pod.
Roberto needs a defense for Week 16. Browns at Jets, Saints at Carolina, Dallas at Giants.
Saints.
Dallas isn't at the Giants in Week 16.
Yeah, who did that?
No, Dallas has the
Philly. Well, I'm not playing the Dallas defense. So.
No, it's Browns.
I think I would. Yeah.
All right. Think we got everything. Dark Winter's still rocking with us. We appreciate you. Lito, appreciate you finally jumping on and joining us, man. You've been rocking in the chat with us since week 1, and now almost the end of the fantasy season. You're finally gracing us with your presence, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Always a fun time.
For sure. Like I said earlier, the DFS guys are going to be going live tomorrow night if that is your thing. If you're out of it, like our guy Karn is, join the DFS, jump in there. It always is fun, and we'll have if you don't want to do DFS but you still want to make money, the Prop Talk show will be going live on Saturday with Tom and myself. The quarterback ranking video will be coming up. If you want your chance to win the signed Allen Robinson jersey, hit that subscribe button. Hit us with a like while you are at it, and we'll be giving that away on the Fantasy Game Day show, Week 16, Sunday morning, December 27th at 11 a.m. Eastern. For all of TFA, for Walito, we appreciate you guys joining us. Best of luck in Week 15. Any other questions you guys have, please drop them, on Twitter, Instagram, on the YouTube channel. We'll be sure to answer those. So good luck to all you guys, and hope to see you next week whenever we're chasing that ship. Bye.